last one is strategic policies and military here through how it felt through the put most of this back now.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right, good to see y'all here today. And I'm ready. We're going to get it in. We're going to be on time. We're going to run things the way it's supposed to be. So welcome. A lot of this I might be speaking to the choir. Sometimes you can tell successful people what's going on, but the ones who really need to hear it, they slept in. So that's what I'm going to breeze through this, but I'm going to train from the heart because I want you to get what's going on. And that's the beauty of what's happening. And I'm going to cook something real quick as we do this because I want people to understand the value and the simplicity. As this last week, we got emails saying, when we're going to have this, when we're going to have that. And I'm just looking like, okay, you're not even being creative. We have to go with it. And as we have like a city leadership council, you see how when you put that mandate in place, you can look around and be like, see, the whole goal is to create millionaires. Now you guys got to understand, when you're working to create millionaires, that means you can't make excuses. Millionaires don't make excuses. They make money. Millionaires will do things that others just won't do. And that's just the reality. I was doing not even a presentation, sitting studying at a coffee shop the other morning. I'm always advertising for them. They need to pay me. But sitting there, and I'm listening to two ladies complain. And she said her boss is out golfing, and that's all he does, and this and that, and he never does any work. So I'm listening, and I'm listening, and I'm listening. And I said, who started the company you work for? Because I'm like, is it somebody who just got hired that just ain't doing a job? And then she said, oh, this guy, blah, blah, blah. And I said, is he out golfing right now too? He goes, yes. And I'm like, so, and I asked her the next question, did you start? I said, I'm not. I said, I was in your conversation, but I wasn't in the conversation. But I got her to realize when I asked the question, well, when he started, were you there? And she said, no. And I said, well, I asked that because I do a lot of corporate trainings and teachings, but I just wanted to understand the thought process. Hey, Shirani, girl, I'm glad you came. Now I can start, y'all. I wonder, like, man, I know we lost a sister, man. She been so consistent. Like, you rebuke whoever calls you be late, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They messing up your comments after your comments. So, the meantime, she was like, I guess you're right. Because I just said, and I didn't say much. I just said, well, if he started and you weren't there, I said, I wonder how much work did he have to do with it? Because it's simple to see someone when they have the level. Everybody gets to that level. I don't care if you're on a roller coaster and that thing starts clicking and you're going up, eventually you get to the top. Where you be screaming and yelling. But the whole point is everything is work. There's thought process, there's anxiety, there's all of that happens when you're working to go higher than where you are. So I just realized that I have many little quirks about me and pet peeves and whatever. But I was like, that is my newest pet peeve. Employee-minded person complaining about the owner enjoying his life. Like, well, isn't that, that's what he was supposed to do. So he's supposed to be there working by your side, although he's already paved the way. So I just said, well, hopefully you're doing your job, because you doing your job keeps him golfing. Because this is where employees need to worry about. If the owner has to lead a golf course to come in there, that means you're not doing your job. And if he thinks like me, if I gotta be in the office, you're about to get laid off. Because my whole point is, hey, I done been here before. It's like, this is common sense. I got to come back and do this? I'm like, well, let me go through my hiring phase. I'm going to find somebody, and after that, I'm going to go back and do what I do. It's like, right, here's your cut. I'm going to pay you well. But at the same time, don't be calling me every 5 minutes. No. Leaders versus reps, that's what's been put on me. End of the day, we all want reps, but in reality, we really don't. We want leaders. Y'all get this? You want is to bring in as many leaders. Bertha, girl, it was Fred that was talking about you though. It was. Fred was talking about you. She's supposed to be on the city council, helping out, doing all that. Supposed to be here early. We all made a commitment. And she didn't want to in here. Oh, wait it is. Yeah, it was Fred. I'm telling her. I told her I was going to tell her. Sometimes here. And y'all in the industry. That's period. So somebody look and say, man, Paul, you really push this. And I'm like, no, I'm not just pushing it because I love it. Of course I love it. I wouldn't do anything that I don't love. But I'm also a person who researches market and market trends and where things are going. So therefore, once I go and I forecast and I look at what's going on everywhere, I'm telling you, I promise you, if laying tar on a highway created more millionaires than any other industry, you know what I'd be doing right now? I have boots on, Rubbermaid up to here, and I'd be laying tar right now. Y'all understand that? So the privilege of being a business owner and realizing what your goal is and saying, well, my goal is to hit $1 billion to leave a legacy, to leave a legacy, to leave a legacy. That means I have to create millionaires at least. I hope y'all will be okay with being a multi-millionaire. But if you think about it, you know, I always do trainings and I always say, especially when it's like standing wall only, I say, well, look around, some of these folks won't be here next week. You know, because it's a trend that happens in life that people grow so far. See, William was in here talking about you. Mm-hmm. Get him when you get home, you're so bad. You might want to get the recording. Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyway, more millionaires were created in the direct sales industry than today. So therefore, when you understand and hear, and I look at it from the standpoint, it's like, well, that's how I made my first million. You know, I could get up here and talk about the money I made in real estate and mortgages, because I made millions there too. But I don't even discuss that. You know why? Had I made the first million, the second million would never would have came. Y'all get that? That's why you never see me talk about all properties or real estate, the mortgages. You know, I got rid of mine before the market tree attains. See, I be paying attention. You know, one last property I got to fix up. It's the one I live in. More millionaires are created in the direct sales industry than any other industry. Y'all get that? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So, all you do is 3 people. Y'all think I'm going to do a long training? All you do is 3 people. Y'all got that?
Yes.
3 people. I'm going to repeat again. All you do is 3 people. We could add the word qualified, but it's I get it. My point is communicate with me, but don't complain to me. The goal is to help you win in life. So we are JMG Net Worth, meaning the focus is on your net worth. We have 2 core products, My Financial Worth and Body Worth. Y'all get it? When I get to Value Worth one day, y'all look like, we started another company? No, that's Value Worth. When I move over to mental worth, see, I own all those brands, the worth brands. Do y'all get that? So JMG Net Worth will have body worth, financial worth, value worth, and mental worth. Y'all get that? It amazes me how I bring on another brand that was always there to bring. I don't have anything that I just like, this is all in the plans for the last few years. Matter of fact, if you come to me with something that's so new, like we need to do this right now, I'm probably gonna be like, okay, after I'm done with this. Because I'm that scheduled out. Y'all get this? And I'm not a wavering prayer. That's free of charge. But when I pray to God for something, I get that. I'm like, you said, Lord. So it's kind of like my kids do me. My daughter told me she wanted a dog. I told her when she turned 8, she'd get the dog. I don't like dogs. Newsflash, right? I told her that at 5 years old, thinking that she'd forget. She held her father's word. At 8 years old, she got a dog. Now I said, get a little dog. Lesson on being specific with your words. I said, get a little dog then. If you're gonna get one, little. I'm thinking that Paris Hilton dog, that little something that don't shed, you know, you can cuddle it and do all that. So you know what? They came home with a little dog. They did. And I'm looking, I'm like, what kind of dog is that? I was like, look at his nose. What kind of dog is that? Well, you said a little dog. What kind of dog is it? A Doberman German Shepherd mixed. So, as you know, I may start. It's all right. Let her. My little blankie, I go out to the couch. This gorilla sound. It is the most bone-chilling sound you can have at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So long story short, I've been up since 4. But it was a deer in the backyard. So I'm like, see, that little dog wouldn't have been all that crazy. But the big dog, literally, when I get up and you have sleep and I ain't a little dude, she knocks me over. One thing I can say is we're the only house on the block that has not been broken into. Thank God. So, whole point is, what was I saying? Be specific with your words. We want 3 good people, 3 quality people, and we want them to do the same thing. This business is not hard. You get this? But you have to be specific with your words. If not, you're going to end up with a dog you didn't want. Some of y'all women, that's a message right there. I teach them tonight. The dog you didn't want. You told the Lord you wanted a man. You wasn't specific in your words, so you got what you got. Wow. Your 3 people need to be qualified people. God give my boy a man with this today. Those, that's it. That's it. When you sign up reps are going to tell you when they're available to make money. When you sign up leaders, think about it. When you sign up a leader, if you take a dog and put a dog on a leash, but that dog's a leader, what does that dog want to do? The dog's going to pull you. So you want to get people who will be pulling you, who will be inconveniencing your schedule. They will bug you. If you don't have people calling you in a week saying, hey, I got another person, can we show them the plan? You get that? Not going out trying to get it. You need to have somebody you bring in, and they're relying on you. If not, you need to replace them. You get this? You need people who have a work for. So let's just plan on you 2 hours. Stick to that commitment. If you would have got 3 people April 20th and had those 3 people, and I show this because I want you to see, I did a message called How Much Did That Excuse Cost You? This will be perfect right now. You have to look at the last 8 weeks of your life, and you have to say, man, for 8 weeks, who was the 3, and what excuse did they give you? Who were potentially their 3, and what excuse? Because so much happens in a week. More happens in a day than most people care to even realize. So let alone a week. So $65,000 a year would be where a person should hit today. Obviously, we shouldn't have to even be here training. But I want us, sometimes I look at trainings and I'm like, okay, I want to train it where it actually connects to a person, where they actually get it. Do you get my point? And trust me, I say this on myself because I'm the author of Schedule for Success. And daily I'm around people who know I'm the author of Schedule for Success. And I watch those people not schedule for success. And then I'll say things sometimes that's even not in the book, Schedule for Success. And then they'll come back and I don't care if it's the kids, if it's the wife, if it's the husband. And I'm like, yeah, but we still do that. Right? We know, and God willing, which He is, you will have life tomorrow. What are you going to do with that life tomorrow? You know that you had today. So when people say, I'm not going to be able to make training today, I'm like, so when we started an 8-week plan, you should say not to be here. Today should be our biggest training. Do y'all get what I want you to see? Mm-hmm. So everybody should be at $130,000 a year. It dawned on 2 things. Everybody should have the My Financial Worth service, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone should have at least 1 order of food, right? Yeah. Our 2 core products makes you $130,000 a year. So this is a 6-figure opportunity annually. Now, I want you to look at it from that standpoint. Now, all you're doing at that point is you know one person who wants to better their credit, better their tax situation, or manage their budget better. That one person comes on. You're now at $195,000 a year. You see how hard that is? You are a customer of the My Financial Worth service. You got that? Mm-hmm. You likewise are a customer of Body Worth. You order 1 sirloin fillets. Then you have 1 person who's your My Financial Worth customer. They just didn't see doing a business, but they do want to get a new car, they do want to do whatever, so they're doing it for their credit, whatever reason they need. You now make $195,000 a year, and you have all your people looking at it from that point. You get that? Now, you have 1 more person just being your customer on Body Worth. You're now at $260,000 a year. You see how simple that is? Mm-hmm. You and your people, you're still only paying for 2 customers, in theory. You have 1 more customer who's your My Financial Worth customer, and you got 1 more customer who's you're gonna have to explain this to Wallace when you see him, okay? Because Wallace going in the middle of something, he gonna say, Brother Paul, I don't get it. I got a question. He gonna call us that week in the office and ask about it. You know, so explain that to Wallace. Hey, Wallace, how you doing? All right, good to see you, Quincy Jones. Yeah. You're a state. People say their financial situation, so they are My Financial. It could be revolving. It could be a different person every other month. This person was on this month. Because we don't have an auto ship for customers. Let me put that out there. A customer come on, buy this month, next month totally buy something different, or the next month they may not buy. You get that? So a customer is just that, a customer. My Financial Worth, now that's going to charge monthly. You get that? Body Worth, as a customer. You don't go in a Rainbow Foods, Cup Foods, or any place else and be like, I'm gonna buy this order. The next month you're gonna charge me again. The stores wish it worked that way. A rep is wise to go on our shoe. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
But for a customer, all you're talking about is you trying on a few. So now you make a decision then to say, I'm going to order something else from Body Worth. You get that? You have my financial worth. You order something else from Body Worth. Well, when you do that, you're at $325,000 a year. Me personally, I'm probably going to give my whole family and everybody else some services too at $325,000 a year. But do y'all see how simple this thing is?
Yeah.
Do you see? It's the timing of it all. It's from this week to this week, what did you actually do? And from that week to that week is when most people stop. This is usually the believing. This is the week of saying, no, this is the week that you say, you know what, if you don't get your free, I'm gonna knock you out. You know what, for come on, for that much a year, it's $1 million every 3 years. And it's actually more than that for senior directors and executive senior directors. You get that? Executive senior directors, or senior directors, is a good $500,000 a year. Executive senior directors, now you jump over to $600,000 a year. All right. That's all right, I'm here to. And talk and train and talk to do what I'm going to do, how simple this business is, that people make it hard. We got a birth to go. I want her to get, Wallace, you get on birth for me when you come back.
Okay.
So, capital real.
Yes.
When you have a prospect, that's what you ask them. Have you heard of the capital grid? When they say no, that'll let you know something right there. You get that? If they say, well, I know what J&J Chicken and Fish is, then you say, oh, you may not be too qualified for this business. One thing I'll guarantee you and promise you, I will not lower the standard of the quality of where we're going. That's not in me, nor do I want to. You know, if I'm not going to take my kids to certain places to eat, then I'm not going to try to sell somebody something. You get that? That's why I didn't sell the other stuff either, because I wasn't going to do it. That was for those at home that may not get it. Manny's right downtown Minneapolis. These are some Del Frisco's. That's a nice steakhouse. If you've ever been to a nice steakhouse, Del Frisco's, they got one in Chicago, they got one in New York, you know, I think there's one in San Francisco. Nice, nice. Ruth Chris, you got that. Schwann's, home delivery. I put that up there because I want people to see something. It's $1 billion company. Schwann's is $1 billion company, and they do it all through home delivery. So what I'm doing is, you know when we go to our site and you see the 8 filet of sirloins? Well, what I did was got me some coleslaw. Get this. I'm using freeze some salt, pepper, and onion powder. Y'all get that? That's it. All I'm going to do is show you, as we do this, I'm going to train, and then we're going to make up just some sandwiches. That's it, just some sandwiches. I want people to see how I went and got me some Hawaiian buns. I like good stuff. Right? I cut my meat up already. It's Body Worth Premium, grass-fed, dry-aged. One thing I noticed when I look up other sites, they all say aged. There's something there. You ain't got to be an expert if all the top best companies and all the rich folks go to it, and we age too. Like old money, right? So, you know, obviously cheese is better with age, right? Wine is better with age. Y'all don't get mad at me, but I did have a meeting with a wine company last week. So what do you do when Body Worth Premium Foods? I don't drink the stuff. But I understand that Jesus did. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and if they talking right and they are, Brother Lockett, then we might have certain bottles of wine that we can ship through the mail too. I want you to see where we are, but I want you to see where this is going. You get my point? It's like now. So from here, as I got my trusty grill right here on high, I'm gonna come on, but I want y'all to realize that we ain't invented the wheel. The wheel is already invented. The only thing we're doing is we're saying, let's deliver it through FedEx. This we have a contract behind the scenes for those companies. So then where should we be? Do you see once you look at certain things like, well, wait a minute, the billion-dollar company already, we don't have to go buy trucks. We don't have to go brick and mortar. All we doing is saying we got a website, send them on there, buy it, cook it. You get that? So now if you got people that's coming over, the same way I'm sitting here doing this training, you got people coming over, hey, y'all need something to eat, I'm gonna make y'all a few sandwiches. And it's like, okay, that's great. So now we just come on over here and we just throw this on the grill. So that's it. No, nothing hard to do. I'm just throwing it on my little trusty grill. Now I got me the Longy grill. It's one of those indoor, outdoor grills. And that's it. I say everybody get one, but it's simple. I didn't have to do the charcoal thing and none of that. But it's literally just like a grill. So I just want you to realize how simple certain things actually are. Are y'all with me on this?
Yeah.
Because when you get how simple this is, and you realize our company, and once you taste this succulent, just touch of salt pepper on here, some olive oil, onion powder, touch of garlic maybe, and we good. All I'm doing is just putting it on the grill, and I'm gonna let the grill do the rest, and go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now those 8 ounce, all I did was cut up 4. Right? The average serving for a good sandwich is 3 ounces. If we do 2 ounces with all of us in there, we still gonna be good. So that's it. I also want me to. I got some. What? Put that on there. We'll let that cook. I get back to training. Y'all with me on this?
Yeah.
I get back to training. This is all this is. Now, there isn't a company in the planet that's in existence that can say in the training, go cook some meat. I want y'all to see how easy this game is. I have the My Financial Work service. Y'all get it? I use that service. Me and my family, we enjoy Bodywork Premium Foods. We use that service. So, we want leaders versus reps. Because leaders, they'll do the $149.95, which is actually $249.95 once they upgrade their, because they get the free shipping, so I should have made it $249. Reps, they may do the 25. Leaders, reps, entrepreneur, employee. Can y'all, do I need to reiterate? An entrepreneur-minded person, they won't, people get in this business and they make the first mistake of letting me know they're not an entrepreneur. They'll say, well, the company needs to do this. The company needs to do that. Those are usually people at a job to get laid off. Let me tell you where I got that from. I was for several years a training operations manager. I've assisted in managing the estates of multimillionaires. You all get that? whether it's NBA ball players, NFL players, the whole nine. You can check me out. Thank you, Brother Lockett. So then you got good serving hands that come in and flip your meat for you the whole nine. You know, you're like, I'm burning meat, I'm gonna burn it. I'm coming this week, but when is the next train? The information I need. I promise you. Is it going down? When am I gonna get this done? Y'all get that? If not, it don't make sense. Especially if we're business partners. You get this? You are bringing on business partners. When they put something more valuable on, and mind you, there are some things, I get it, some people work Saturdays, but Monday evenings are for those people. I get that? That's for leaders, though, will say, well, no, Paulie's not going to come, and William may not come, but I'm a leader. I know what was trained. I understand the concept of what was trained. Therefore, I'll get it. If you want one of them grills, just go to Amazon.com and get you one. But don't call the company like, we need to figure out how to get those kind of grills. No, I'll tell you that. William saw the grill and went and bought him a grill. That's how I found out. Why? That's what a leader does. You get that? That's it. My neighbor had that grill. They invited us over to eat. The lady pulled that grill out. I was like, look at that. I was like, the next day, I went and looked it up. I'm like, I'm about to do that. I'm going to tell my brother out here. We do what we do. Take some off, got a paper place, put on there. We're good to go. So the whole point is, leaders create ways to succeed. Reps will blame you if they don't succeed. You get that? Oh, I need to cancel. I don't have time. I need to cancel. It's like, really? I got this going on. You know, I've been sick. I'm like, you know what? You act like I don't get sick. Ain't that something? When somebody tells you they've been sick, do you know we all get sick? Mm-hmm. Every last one of you in this last year has had sick. I promise you. Period. Mm-hmm. We don't let that employee minded person to get a rep. J on this. Jay Lee as a leader, his car wasn't going right. He said, hey brother, I get there, can you get me home? That's what a leader would do. Not saying I didn't have a car. You know what, when I hear that, I'm like, well, man, you didn't hear the story of my wife took the car from me and I had to get on the bus. Leaders do things that a rep-minded or employee-minded person just couldn't see doing. Matter of fact, because I was a leader, I would go around and I would pick up the guys that brought me into business and I would take them to my presentations. So therefore, my wife was like, well, you used to do that, they should do it. I'm like, I did it because I knew what I wanted. Now I go pick up my reps. I'm doing a presentation because I still know what I want. You get that? So when people have the concept of network marketing that, well, you just put your success in the hands of other people. What? They say that's what got who's made millions do network marketing. I get so blown away when people ask me questions after questions after questions, and then I reply back 3 people. And like, one day you're going to get it. 3 people. 3 people. I can tell you who the people were in another company. Now, I'll guarantee you, God is no respecter of person. 3 people. They're go-getters, don't go get. Leaders, independent people are go-getters. They don't go get. They are also, they set goals to accomplish. Reps change their goals constantly. They always have an idea. They're going to do it one way, do it another way, style. Look at that. Leaders, what? Rocket was out of town that weekend. Reps wait with hyped up intentions. You ever seen somebody like, oh man, after I get through with this right here, this project I'm working on, when I'm done, man, I'm gonna come in there and blow that up. Then I always would say, that's fine. Well, after you're done, you're gonna come blow this up? Well, if I believe in what, because what you're doing must be so incredible that I may need to look into that. Well, it's just an obstacle, guys. I'm telling you, you will get a lot of reps, but you want leaders, okay? Now, don't use, that's why you haven't put any people in as your excuse. Well, that's because I knew they was reps, that's why I haven't put nobody in. No, if you haven't put anyone in, it's because you are not recruiting. I'll repeat that. It is simply because you are not recruiting. I'll guarantee this, and I'm sure Brother Fred could even co-sign with me. When you are recruiting, you're always going to have someone come look at the business. Those who actually do that get people. Every week he brings someone and they sign up. And it is from recruiting. So when I see a person who calls themselves a leader go a month, 2 months, 3 months, or even a couple of weeks, and I'm saying, okay, somehow you came over to the rep mind, and I need to get you to come back to the leadership mind. Y'all get that? Mm-hmm. Because leaders are committed to something. They are committed. Then we say, okay, now let's go do X, Y, Z. Y'all get where I'm going with this? Yeah. So all we got to do is be a movement, not a monument. So I have a video called May the Journey Continue. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to show you simply how, and that's speed of service time. I was going to just talk, do the training and click and do it, but Brother Lockett made it even easier for me. But in that quick service of time, I can show you how, and what was that, 10 minutes? 15 minutes tops. That I can sit here in 15 minutes time and make me a sandwich. Mm-hmm. Now you gotta get good buns. So I don't know, somebody, I'm not for no cheap stuff. So in here, and I'll show you what to do with it. Okay. If you want some A1, you won't need it. Let me taste a little bit of that. Just taste a little bit of that. Oh, man, you don't need a bun. Mm-hmm. Gotta know what you're doing. The whole point is, this is not a 5-star establishment. This is not a restaurant. I put some salt, pepper. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mama said I'm talking to mouthful, so all we doing is we keep it simple. So if I were to take a little salt, pepper, open my coleslaw, I'm gonna show you how to make it like the down south. This Texas style. Mm-hmm. Got over here, like utensil, meat. When I get that, take that on there. Mm-hmm. With my bun. The average restaurant serving size is about 3 ounces, so I would do about the same. Put me about 3 ounces of meat on here. Mm-hmm. For me, I'm gonna throw a little coleslaw on top because you gotta make it like you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Got that. Then you can get you some fried onions. I don't know about y'all. Just a few, not a lot, just a few, just to give your sandwich a nice little crunch.
Contrast.
That's it, just that. So, from there, you have that sandwich that we made right here in training. Didn't take a long time, and I get to in front of you. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That looks no good. Out. So, without further ado, now, they're gonna get your sandwich.
You got to do it one time.
We get Brother Lockett said to come do his thing. God bless.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna give me a taste.
Mm-hmm. We letting y'all at home know what you're missing.
What's the name of this sandwich?
That's a Paulie special. That's the name of that one.
I've heard of this
Sure.
sandwich before. They got a name to it.
Oh.
Yeah, let me get my
Is
drink.
that coleslaw, man?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it all. I don't know the name of it, but I just put that coleslaw on. I usually do it with beef brisket
Yeah, right.
or some smoked pork. But I just showed you with our Body Worth sirloin. I cut it in strips. We cooked it for a little bit. And we went from there. Y'all see Sister Diane? It's easy. Just easy. So when a person say, I don't know how to do this business, you don't know how to eat? What you are witnessing, people, is what our business is. If I could have money rain down on Jay Lee as he dips in there, that would be it. So we got to understand, there's some mayonnaise over there if you won't like that. There's some A5, 757 Heinz, whatever sauce. You know, the basic stuff that's already in your cabinets. All you need was a quality meat. That's all you needed was a quality meat. And there's some more buns down there if you need it.
That's your mama.
Bertha said, slap your mama is so good.
It's not in my color much today.
Uh-oh, I hear you. As long as you can taste it. It's in mine.
Truly. Something, but I've been to some of the restaurants that he had up on there. And what impresses me about our meat is not only is that the same caliber, but to me it's a step above.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been to them restaurants, it still has some gristle that I couldn't eat. But I have not come across a piece of meat, and y'all know I order lots of meat, that I had any gristle that I couldn't eat. So to me, it's a better quality than even what those restaurants have. But real quick, I just want to show y'all something that really hit me when Brother Paulie was doing his training. So I'm going to bring this slide back up. Because when we talk about being an entrepreneur versus an employee, is that a lot of folks miss the true characteristic of being an entrepreneur. they may say out of their mouths that they want to be a business owner, but then their actions say something different. See, here we are standing today at this date, right? June 1st. Today, June 1st, right? Right. We can all agree on that, right? There was a plan that was initiated back on April 20th. So from April 20th to June 1st, life still continued to happen, right? Everything that happened between April 20th and June time is still going to happen with your. So why not do something so that as time progresses, you're in a better position to deal with life circumstances? See, an employee mindset individual is always going to focus on the circumstances, always going to focus on the problem rather than the solution. Because even though you may have not participated in this plan, you still got the same issues that you were dealing with back on April 20th.
That's right.
Nothing has changed between April 20th to June 1st. Had you implemented the plan, worked the plan, been committed to the plan, come June 1st, you could have been in a different position. So it's not the business, and it's not that the business doesn't work. It's just that if people don't work the business, they don't truly see the benefits of the business. And what that also means is not to say that you didn't work your business, but in terms of taking it to the next level, then you may have to do more. So if you've been talking to 2 or 3 people, you may have to talk to 20 or 30 people. Increase the number so you can increase the results. Because again, it's not a question whether or not it works. As we see that the process of time is still going to take place. But as an entrepreneur, you say, hey, I want to do the work now. So that later on, as the illustration Paul was given, spend time on the golf course, travel the world, do the things that bring change. There. It is a difference. So y'all ready?
Ready?
Y'all mouths good and full?
Good
Y'all
job.
give Brother Paulie a hand for bringing that, doing that demonstration. That show was good. And fast. That didn't take no time at all, did it? So what I want to talk about this morning is that I always got to go to the Bible. See, I can only share with you, the principles in the course that I've taken. I can't talk to you about what somebody else did. I can only talk from my own personal experience. It has truly been the foundation of the Word of God in my life that has gotten me to where I'm at. Not that I'm perfect, not that I, follow it to the letter of the law, but I understand the Word. I'm still a work in progress. Continue to pray for me as I pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to talk about this morning is to do what was meant for 11 days. When God delivered the children out of Israel, or out of Egypt, it was an 11-day journey that took them 40 years. Why what was meant to be done in 7 weeks was still in the wilderness? There's a certain mindset that has to take place in order to make the transition from your wilderness to your promised land. I'm going to say that again. There's a mental state, a transition has to take place in your mind, in your mental state, to go from your, once certain level, used to keep you in bondage, that you. But something has happened inside of you that arises you above those circumstances and those situations that now you no longer give them attention. And since you no longer give them attention, guess what? They no longer become a distraction to keep your focus off of what is important to you and what it is that you're working towards. Because it's always going to happen, but the change in yourself. So let's get into this. The wrong mindset is what kept them from getting to the promised land in less than 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So Exodus 14, the Message Bible. God made Pharaoh king of Egypt stubborn, determined to chase the Israelites as they walked out on him without even looking back. The Egyptians gave chase and caught up with them, where they had made camp by the sea. All Pharaoh's horse-drawn chariots and their riders, all his foot soldiers. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up and saw them. Egyptians coming at them. So, when I read that years ago, and in the scripture says that God hardened Pharaoh's heart, you know, I always question that. And then when we look at it, even after he did release them and they left, you know, God knew that their mindset hadn't changed, even though they was situations trying to get a greater put sites and phone with cliches like, oh, well, maybe this wasn't meant to be. You know, maybe this isn't God.
Right.
You know, but that's not what the word says. The word says, so long as we're in this world, trials and tribulation will come upon us, but he's able to deliver us out of them all. Okay? But if you don't understand that, then you'll get the wrong message from the trials that you go through. See, the trials that we go through are there to make us stronger, are there to build our confidence, are there to build our faith. But if we get scared or discouraged going through the process, we abort the process. We give up, we get discouraged, we quit, we lose faith. And so God was just trying to create a testimony in them. They were totally afraid. They cried out in terror to God. They told Moses, weren't the cemeteries large enough in Egypt so that you had to take us out of here in the wilderness to die? What have you done to us, taking us out of Egypt? I mean, just like I taught last time on the lepers at the gate, right? If we stay here, we're going to die.
Right.
If we go back, we're going to die. Death is death. Here they say, you could just left us in Egypt if we were going to die. See, they weren't looking at the opportunity to be free. You know, if you had that enslaved mindset or that employee mindset, then you'll say, well, at least I'm getting a paycheck. Even though this paycheck isn't enough to take care of my needs, at least I'm getting a paycheck. Well, yes, be thankful that you're getting a paycheck, but then do something above and beyond that so that you can position yourself, because life is going to continue to happen. We're better in slavery. Even though now that they're not under the thumb of the taskmaster, but because of difficult times, they find comfort even in something they know is hard. I mean, to me, that's like suicide. That's like, you know, self-inflicted pain. You know, at least I'd rather have the unknown. Ability is something greater. And that's the mindset of an entrepreneur. That they hold to the fact that there's a possibility that this could work.
Yep.
Man, if I just devote my time in my life to this idea, if I'm just committed to it, if I'm passionate about it, at least I have the possibility of having the lifestyle that I dream about. But if I don't pursue this passion, if I just continue to work a 9 to 5, I know I'll never achieve the dreams that I have. That's how an entrepreneur thinks. You know how an employee thinks? Long as this job for 25, 30, 40 years, I'll be able to retire comfortably. But what happens? That doesn't become the reality. I even saw a commercial on the other night where this older sister was saying that, I retired on Friday and went back to school on Monday. And when one thing,
Right.
not yourself, at least a year, but she had to go back and retool. And she looked like she was in her mid-60s. But that's the mindset and the attitude. And now that's going to be the message that's going to be coming out. Targeting the elderly generation. Go back to school, retool yourself. But why? Only because they know the reality of it is that people can't retire these days. Because there's really not enough on retirement in order to sustain the rest of their life. So wow, how like people that we come in contact with that say what doesn't work. It also sounds like those that say that they don't have enough time to explore the possibilities of financial freedom. By working a business opportunity versus continuing to work a job, that they feel trapped, enslaved, and ends barely meeting. Again, they were delivered out of Egypt. They faced some difficult times. All of a sudden they say, you know what? Why didn't you just leave us in Egypt? So that's what we come in contact when we talk. And they'll tell you what doesn't work. But at the same time, what they're doing works. Because you hear their murmurs and their complaints. You hear their, their gripes and their moans about, they can't do this or they can't afford capital. Real. And you could even see their dry aged meat in the calf. It's very expensive. But if you haven't been exposed to that level of living, that's a good indication. The mindset, okay? So you can expose them to some new information, but don't get stuck, okay? And that's what I see a lot of times, that folks get stuck, fishing in the wrong pond, talking to the wrong people, and then getting the wrong message, because if you don't start getting some growth and some movement, you're going to begin to get discouraged.
Yes.
But if you're fishing in the wrong pond, then there's no doubt you're going to get discouraged. So why not just pick up your stuff and move and go to a different area, a different group of people to talk to? At least a group of individuals that has the potential to act on the information, rather than talking to a group of people that, even if they want to, in reality, they can't afford to.
Right.
So even something promised has to be fought for. Nothing comes without a price. Sometimes the price is faith. So let's not get it twisted. So it's not that we're supposed to be in poverty. It's that we're supposed to be the example. We're supposed to be the light. We're supposed to be the salt. So therefore, we're supposed to be blessed. So that we can do greater things in the kingdom. So I'm on a mission. So like I said, I have to use myself, as an example. So when I share stuff, I'm exposing myself. When I'm sharing stuff, I'm sharing with you from personal experience. Not because I want to say, look at me and all the great things I've done. And the reason why I share openly is because I don't see myself in some unique individual. So when I'm sharing, I'm telling you that, yes, I have done this. But I know that you can do the same thing. And not only do I know that you can do the same thing, I'm saying I'm making a commitment to help you to do it as well. So not just to, paint this picture of this lavish lifestyle. I'm saying, you know what? We can do this together. I'm willing to deposit my gifts and my talents. When you hear my story, when I talk on these and things, and I share the story about how I was introduced to this company. I was introduced to this company only through the services. Not that I was looking for another project, not that I was looking for a business opportunity, but answer to some enlightenment that I had received from the Holy Spirit as a vehicle to be able to be a financial blessing to other people through my gifts and my talents. So when I say these things, I'm sincere in my heart and my desire to help you become successful. To give mail today. Got a $40,000 bill from the IRS. Now, most folks might choke and flinch. No, I'm saying, okay, I'll just take care of it. But if I wasn't in a position, that's more money than some folks make a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my bill. And I was thankful to get that bill rather than what I could have paid, okay?
That's right.
But that is the reality. It still won't happen. But if I don't do some work, if I don't prepare myself, so when things happen, you're in a position to take care of it. See, if I'm not in a position, then I will stress about, oh Lord, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Oh, they're going to come in and snatch this. They're going to take this. They're going to garnish that.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. I understand what I need to do. So therefore, position yourselves, okay? Don't be like the children of Israel. Moses spoke to the people, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid about nothing. The IRS ain't bigger than my God.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
I saw a sign on a property, that another person's agreement. But I went land. Since 2010. So must be Indian company coming in and buying it, right? Because it used to be a Native American program that closed down. And I just thought, you know what? Before there was Indians, it was God.
Right.
This is God's land. So if God wants me to have it, he'll work it out. But you know what? I'm not going to sit and wait.
Right.
I'm going to continue to, do work, as the word says, until he comes and lets me know that, no, this is your property.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still out there looking for other properties, because I still have to expand my operations. So I'm not going to say, oh, well, maybe this isn't the time. Maybe God doesn't want me to have. No, I have to fight for what it is that you want in life. See, we've already been armed with the tools and the information that we need to be successful. But if we don't implement them, whose fault is that? So don't be afraid. Stand firm and watch God do his work of salvation for you today is what Moses told him. Take a good look at the Egyptians today, for you'll never going to see them again. So take a good look at your circumstances today.
Right.
If you have faith and you're not afraid, the enemy. In other words, because you can.
Mm-hmm.
There's no comparison. Stay in the ground. Be encouraged. Remain excited. Stay committed because you will come. All success stories have a turnaround point, but only because they remain steadfast to the belief that it would work. Our business works.
That's right.
Period. It works. God said to Moses, cry out to me. Why you come to Moses? Speak to the Israelites. Order them to get moving. Don't stop. Don't get stuck. Keep moving. Keep building. Keep working your business. Hold your staff high and stretch your hand out over the sea. In other words, you already have what you need to be successful. You just have to realize what's in your hand. Split the sea. The Israelites will walk through the sea on dry ground. Doubt the business. Doubt your doubt. We have a system that has been proven to work. If it works for one, it has to work for others because it's a system. Just like how God caused Pharaoh to become stubborn and not release the children, and even after releasing them, pursuing them, was all to create a testimony. Your business is how do you no matter how severe the struggle may seem, you have everything within yourself already to conquer and overcome that obstacle. It says he'll not put on you to be able to bear. So that's a promise. So when you're going through something, you're like, why is this happening to me? You know, why does it seem so rough? I'm not going to be able to make it through this time. I'm not going to be able to make it through this situation. You may think those thoughts or even say those words, but what happens? The progression of time still takes place. And what happens at the end? You come through. But you missed a golden opportunity. You missed a golden opportunity to release your faith and increase your faith to reward on the other end because of your faith. That's a powerful lesson that you will have to learn. So whenever I come to a situation, I release my faith.
Amen.
Because at that time, I recognize and realize because of the journey that this is nothing but a test that I must pass. If you don't pass the test, what happens in the natural? You have to repeat the course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to have to repeat it anyways, then I get happy. I get that. I understand
That's
how
me.
faith works.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I just release more faith to say, you know what? This too shall pass. How dare this uncircumcised Philistine try to, defy the true living God?
Hit him with a rock.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm blessed coming in, blessed going out. Y'all better hear me this morning.
Mm-hmm.
What you also must realize is that you are building your business and learning how to conquer opposition. You are also gaining confidence and belief in yourself, your business, and your faith in God. See, I'm always expecting increase. So therefore, I don't get discouraged. I knew that the bill was coming. I just didn't come.
Mm-hmm.
But I continued to build and grow and work so that when it did come, I'll be in position to take care of it. Now I got choices. Do I want to pay the bill all at once? Or do I want to break it off in payments? Because some other things I want to do as well.
That's right.
But I got choices rather than stressing. Why? Because I'm working. I'm releasing faith every day. Because of my faith into God. Because I bought it so that myself. Here.
I hear you, brother.
Because I'm trying to instill some wisdom and knowledge in you so that you'll be able to walk above no matter what circumstances occur in your life, because the process of time is going to happen regardless. So when you come across those people that talk about they ain't got time, but then they ain't live their desire, they lying to themselves. So then don't let them lie to you.
Right.
Don't let them lie to you about the sin and your future in this business. Because they don't get it anyway. So why seek counsel through individuals that don't get it? I mean, we say this week after week. You know, don't take advice from those that haven't achieved that level of life. So no matter what the circumstance, or no matter what the business is, there's a certain characteristic for success. And that's what we try to instill in you. Because it's really about you. It's not about the product, because we know, as Brother Paulie just showed this morning, they got companies already. And the food and in the financial market, but we have even more than what they have to offer at even a better price point. But we're not a $1 billion company yet. Why? Because of the mindsets that we not all kinds of stuff in this. How do I know that? Because I've done it. I've done it. Made it free. Plus paid. Still the same results. No knock on you, so don't take it personally like I'm chewing you out. Because I love each and every one of you. But what I'm saying is that we have to have a mind switch. We have to change our way of thinking. And it begins with your confidence in yourself and in your business. That's why I said, tell them to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I mean, you just tasted this succulent meat. I mean, this is so juicy. Chew so well. I mean, you ain't got to be chomping down on it. It's all good. Very simple seasoning. You ain't got to camouflage it with all kinds of flavor because the meat ain't no good.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious. Mm. I was looking at that this week. But I want y'all to understand what I'm saying.
Right. Then their doubts and their disbelief.
Mm.
But if you allow the opposite to take place, where their doubt and their disbelief begins to question and erode at your confidence, then you drop your head. Well, I don't know, it seems to be working for so and so, but I haven't had that success. I don't care what success you had in this business or not. You are a successful individual in your own right.
That's right.
Because of the life that I've lived, I'm qualified to be authority to tell you that I know that this is a real opportunity. Whether or not I've achieved a success at the same level as somebody else is irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Because if it happens for one, it can happen for another.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the system. Okay, so don't be pulled into that. Well, how much money are you making?
Yeah, really.
Well, it's not a question of how much money am I making. How much money do you want to make? Because just because we're two individuals don't mean we're going to have the same success. Right. So when somebody tells you that, they're focused on the wrong thing anyway.
Yeah.
They're looking for an excuse. So Moses led Israel from the Red Sea onto the wilderness of Shur. They traveled for 3 days through the wilderness without finding any water, but bitter. So what are we supposed to drink? Split the Red Sea, performed all of these miracles, and they still complaining. Well, when we gonna have burgers? when we gonna have whatever. You know, we have what we have. Let's focus on that,
Yes, sir.
okay? Because we can add anything in there, but good business mindset is not to add something just because one individual wants it.
Right.
See, we have to allow the demand to drive what it is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're really promoting is the system. That's what you need to focus on.
Right.
Regardless of what products or services we have, it's the system that people want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the system is what's going to create the financial wealth. It's the system that's going to give them the vacation, the $1,500 a month lifestyle bonus, the vehicle. It's the system.
Mm-hmm.
And because how powerful the system is, they can for the food. But focus on promoting this on the word of God. God pointed him to the stick of wood. Moses threw it in the water turned sweet. That's the place where God set up his rules and procedures. That's where he started testing them. Why? Because God saw that no matter what I do, these people are going to continue to complain. So therefore, now I'm going to sit back and watch what you do. I'm going to watch what you say. Because no matter what I do, how much I increase, what I do for you, you still find some reason to complain. This is key because God realized that the mindset of the people was ungratefulness and fear, not one of thankfulness and faith. Even after all the miracles that God provided to people, still complained and was quick to return mentally back to the bondage of Egypt. You know how the saying goes? You can take the Israelite out of Egypt, but you can't take Egypt out of the Israelite. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Y'all know how it really goes.
Yeah. It's true.
When Moses sent them off to scout out Canaan, he said, go up through the country. Look for the land. Observe, are they is it fertile or barren? So he gave them instructions. God spoke to Moses, send men out to scout out the country Canaan that I am giving to the people of Israel. It was a promise. Send one man from each ancestral tribe, each one tried and true leader in the tribe. So you are here as leaders,
Mm-hmm.
not as reps, as leaders. You go through the training to become tried and true. Because you go out there in the field and you try to implement the instructions. Then you go through the process of yeses and nos. So now you're tried and true. You're not wavering. You stay committed. You stay excited. You stay focused. So Moses sent them off from the wilderness, appearing at the command of God. All of them were leaders in Israel, one of each tribe. And they're forests. And they try bringing back a sample of the produce that grows there. This is the season for the first ripe grape. Like I said, the instruction was go and observe,
Mm-hmm.
report back, bring back a sample. Then we
Mm-hmm.
people give you their opinion of what they think. No, it's going to just follow these instructions. Then we can always adapt, modify if it doesn't work. But it's already been proven to work. So people have a tendency to overcomplicate things by rethinking what has already been proven or not by following the instructions. Just follow the simple instructions, okay? Period. So we want the same pattern because it's duplicatable.
Mhm.
You know, we want to be able to replicate leaders in other states, other cities. So we have to have a system that can be duplicated easily so that it's not a matter of, you know, reinventing so that the people are speaking the same language.
Right.
So that we're teaching the same system. You know, 3 to go get 3. So then that way we'll keep it simple and people can easily adapt to it. It's not a matter of coming into business and sitting down and taking a lot of time trying to learn the whole system.
Right.
That's why we have simple instructions, because they can follow those simple instructions. So with that, they were on their way. The route went through the Najib Desert and lived there. In other words, these are descendants of giants. So Hebron had been built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. When they arrived in Eshcol Valley, they cut off a branch with a single cluster of grapes. It took 2 men to carry it. So remember, he said, bring back a sample, right? I mean, he said, is the land fertile or barren? It's so fertile that, man, you got grapes, it's going to take 2 men to carry it. So slung on a pole. They also picked some pomegranates and figs. They named that place Eshcol Valley, Grape Cluster Valley, because of the huge cluster of grapes they had cut down there. After 40 days of scouting out the land, they returned home. That 40 days represents something.
Right.
So I don't want anyone, especially you folks here in this room, because I have a personal attachment to each and every one of you because of your commitment. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. So therefore, I don't want anyone, especially in this room, to be stuck in the wilderness any longer than necessary. That's in your millions of dollars. That tasted good too. Man, so when you have good quality food,
That's new.
I don't care. What was I saying? It tastes so good, I lost my track.
Something about $1 million, you know?
Yeah, but we up here talking about making millions. If you don't see yourself and believe within yourselves that you deserve to earn that kind of money, or you believe that you can make that kind of money, we miss you with that conversation every day. Every time Brother Paulie puts that slide up there, more millionaires trade, it doesn't have a real meaning to you because you never see yourself in that category. You have to make a switch within yourselves. I don't care what your bank account may look like right now. I don't care the amount of people that told you no, that started to quit. I'm telling you from personal experience to go then because you're out there, you had the confidence, you had the belief, and you're doing the work. Things begin to happen, doors begin to open, opportunities begin to present themselves. Now all of a sudden you see yourself, later on down the road, now it becomes a reality. And you wonder, how did it happen? When did it happen? It seemed like it happened overnight. No, it happened when you made the decision, and then you made a commitment, and then you went after it. It just took the process of time before it became a reality. But again, the same process of time was going to happen regardless. But it's a matter of what you think and what you're willing to do and what you commit to that makes the difference after the process of time of what really takes place in your life. So they presented themselves before Moses and Aaron and the whole congregation of the people of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They reported to the whole congregation. Now they're trying to get more supporters and showed them the fruit of the land. Then they told the story of their trip. How many people do you come across that don't do something, and then when you start talking to somebody, then they want to start taking in? You know, Moses. We can do, you know, he said, silence. No, shut up. You're not talking crazy. No, you know what? Let's go up and take the land now. Let's go out there and complete this system now. Because we can do it. But if you have that other spirit, you know, like, oh, you know what? Nah, I don't think it's possible. I don't think we can do it. You know what? You are 100% correct. Because when you say something doesn't work, then therefore you don't do what is necessary to make it work, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When I was broke, bank account upside down, I still rolled through neighborhoods and made down a home. Still went on a parade of homes. Still went and test drove vehicles that I knew I couldn't afford at that time. But it didn't stop me from dreaming.
That's right.
It didn't discourage me from going out and doing something to make it a reality. So when I tell you, I'm telling y'all from personal experience, and like I already said, I don't think that I'm any special, you know, individual more unique than y'all. That's why I'm here standing here telling you what I've done and say not only that, but I also want to attack those Israel. They said, we scouted out the land from one end to the other. It's a land that flows people, it's a land that swallows people whole. We went to the land to which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. I just look at this fruit. The only thing is that the people who live there are fierce. Their cities are huge and well fortified. Worse yet, we saw descendants of the giant of Anak. Amalekites are spread out in the G. Hivites, Jebusites, Amorites hold the hill country, and the Canaanites are established on the Mediterranean. No matter where we go, there's some people there that are greater than us. Now, these are the same people that God done brought out of Egypt, done, you know, had the 10 plagues, you know, to split the Red Sea, you know, to turn the bitter water into sweet. Now, they're going to try to talk about some people, the same, you know, people that had oppressed them in Egypt, that God conquered them. Do you see how short memory people have? You know, they're always focused on the problem rather than the solution. Everybody we saw was huge. Why? We even saw the Nephilim giants. Alongside, they looked as grasshoppers. Call themselves as grasshoppers. Because it doesn't say that they told us that we was like grasshoppers in their sight. No, it says that we saw ourselves as grasshoppers. And then they looked down on us as if we were grasshoppers.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's important how you view yourself. That's why I said if you don't see yourself being wealthy, then you won't achieve it. You have to begin to speak, you know, words of prosperity. You have to begin to speak words of increase into your life. But then as you speak those words, you got to begin to do some work. Because faith without works is dead. Y'all better feel me this morning.
You're not feeling
Feeling it.
I'm telling you, I didn't care what it looked like. You know, I'll play that name and claim it, but I ain't gonna be spooky with it and be
Right.
wait back and look. So I'm just waiting on God to, you know, bless me with this house or bless me with this car. No, God already blessed me.
Mm-hmm.
He
Get it
blessed
now.
me with the gifts and my talents.
Mm-hmm.
He blessed me with a desire in my heart and a willingness to do some work. So now I got to go out and do my part. I don't play that spooky religious game. Don't follow the crowd. They just might be leading you over a cliff to the self-destruction. You must have the spirit of Caleb, and that is of a conqueror. We can do this. When you begin, they begin to say, well, turn about you now. Because they may have known you your entire life. But when you begin to speak different, when you begin to dress different, when you begin to walk different, like, yeah, I know I own it, like George Jefferson. People begin to say, there's something different. And whatever that difference is now piqued their curiosity. That is your opportunity not to try to just, you know, pounce on them with all the information. Shut up. Now invite them to a presentation. Invite them to a conference call so that the system is allowed to work for you. That's all your job is to expose people to the information.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you want to do. So don't overexpose them with information, too much information that they're looking to try to get so they can just tell you no based upon the information when maybe you haven't gained the confidence in order to explain it correctly. So therefore, use the system to explain it for you. Because those that have known you your entire life, they're gauging this opportunity based upon what they think they know about you. So you it takes this entire thing right now. But
Right.
you must always see yourself as God sees you. You are more than the conqueror. You are blessed coming in and going out. You are blessed to be a blessing. You have been anointed for such a time as this. You have the ability to trample over scorpions as well as you are a giant slayer. So go out and take your promised land by your God-given abilities. See, I believe that.
Yes, sir.
I believe that about me. So when I say it, I felt it. Because I understand, yeah, I trample over scorpions. I know that the enemy is under my foot. So therefore, I'm always walking above my circumstances. That's why I said I got walking on water faith. I don't care how much money you think you have. I understand that my God is no respecter of person.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't fear no man. And I understand that if I want it, I can go get it.
Mm-hmm.
So why should I be distracted by what somebody else has? I just need to be focused on what I need to be getting for me.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I keep it moving. You know, that's why I can look people in their eyes and speak with confidence and boldness. You know, I ain't afraid, but I'm on a mission to help somebody else to realize their God. Picking up the phone, if you want me to let's make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you have to have a mind shift take place. You have to begin to have that confidence within yourselves. You have to begin to speak boldly. You have to begin to speak confidence. And you cannot have fear come in where now all of a sudden the person that you're talking to feels as though they're the whole important world to you. That your whole business is hinged around them. You have to make them feel like they're missing out if they don't become a part of it. So you can't have that fear of taking it back from them. Maybe you're not what we're looking for. You know, I had a conversation with a gentleman, Brother Wallace. You know, during the conversation, his mindset reverted back to an employee. And I was like, okay, I see where his mindset is, because every time he came up with some type of objection, well, this isn't going to work because so-and-so and such, you know, the people. I'm like, well, what do you do for a living? Sales? No matter what. I mean, you're going to have that no matter what you do. But it educated me. You know, well, when you're ready, we'll be here. But work anyway. And I realized it. But this is a opportunity right now to position yourselves so that as those millionaires are created, those millionaires are going to be created up under you, which is going to cause you to become a millionaire. And there's so much love in this company. The company's so generous. It's just your commitment, your consistency that moves, you know, people to, you know, to have acts of passion on you, you know. So just stay committed, stay excited, and go out there and continue to build your business, okay? And don't allow nobody to rob you of what it is that you've been, you know, created to be. And I don't care what past mistakes you made. I don't care what your current situation may look like. You know, you still got breath in your body. So stay encouraged, stay excited, stay believing and dreaming, you know, and let's work together to make those dreams a reality. God bless.
Probably you gonna go over that stuff you was talking about.
Nah,